Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton both backing away from the idea of global trade recently, but at what cost can the U.S. remain prosperous without any form of foreign trade, even perhaps globalization? Now, of course, on a larger scale, many call this protectionism, and historically it has hurt the world's economy, certainly the countries that have engaged in it. Joining me now to discuss, Chris Versace, Peter Morici, and Jeff DeWitt. Jeff, I got you in studio, so I'm going to start with you. I know Trump fans say, hey, listen, Donald Trump is not against free trade, but he insists on fair trade. However, people hear 45% tariffs and they think back to Smoot-Hawley, or Christine Lagarde goes back further to 1914, the start of World War I.
Well, again, it's not shutting down trade, and really the hope is not to put tariffs in. What he's saying is that would be the stick, so we get the carrot, which is a good bilateral trade deal. He very much wants trade with other countries, just not these overreaching global deals like what NAFTA was, which has cost 700,000 U.S. jobs, or what the TPP is, which is much even worse than NAFTA. So he wants trade, just bilateral deals. We get the job done on a country-by-country basis, and we make sure that we're getting fair deals that keep jobs in the U.S.
Chris, how realistic, though, is it that, A, we can force companies to bring back jobs? Can we force Apple to make their phones here? Can we force Ford to make cars here or trucks here? And really, can we spark the sort of manufacturing boom that the Midwest thinks about or dreams about?
Well, it's interesting, Charles, because companies have to deliver profits to the bottom line. So you have to ask yourself, can I do it profitably here or not? Today, probably not. But there's some things happening in terms of technology, 3D printing, nanotechnology, wearables, and the like, that can actually alter the playing field. And it's possible within a couple of years that we're actually creating more jobs here, and you're seeing jobs fall in Southeast Asia.
But what I'm hearing you say is that jobs will come back, but there'll be robots doing them.
You are exactly right, Charles. Not only will be robots doing it, but there's no way, if this happens, that we're going to create the exact same number of jobs that we've lost, and we're not going to create the same number of jobs that they're going to lose over there.
Jeff, I'll ask you about robots and voting in a minute, but let me go to the professor. Okay. Peter Morici, you have been an advocate of a tougher approach to trade, particularly of fair trade deals. Christine Lagarde saying she sensed that if Donald Trump gets in, the world falls apart. In fact, she's equating this to perhaps the start of World War I all over again.
Well, I think that's absolute nonsense, and she's being very selective in her criticism. Hillary Clinton, in a Portland paper in Maine, essentially embraced Donald Trump's position with an op-ed. She advocated getting very tough with China, but I guess Christine thinks it's okay for a Clinton to get tough with China, but not a Trump. What's more, Trump's platform on trade is very similar to Romney, which you've got here is the anti-Trump group in the international community. It really comes down to tactics, not strategy. We all agree that we should balance our trade, so we're not borrowing to get those iPhones, but rather selling them stuff. And if we need to get tough with China, we need to establish our credibility. On a temporary basis, putting up a 45% tariff makes great sense to me. And by the way, Paul Krugman, Nobel laureate, New York Times columnist, the liberal of liberals, wears blue pajamas. He advocates the same policy. So, Donald Trump is not an extremist on trade. What's extreme is the reaction to him by people like Christine Lagarde, because poor Donald is not in the club, and she wants someone in the club to be president. I bet you'd get the same reaction from someone like Jeb Bush.
Yeah, well, listen, nothing says establishment like the IMF. Thanks a lot, guys.